Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to completely take apart, clean and reassemble your Rubik's Cube. This is targeted to be applicable to any kind of Rubik's Cube, so think of it as a generic way to do so. And I'll also give you a quick tip about lubrication at the end. It's not a professional advice or anything, it's just like if you need to lube it a day before a comp, maybe not my situation, so what you can do in that case. But yeah, in any case, let's get right into this. So in order to be successful in disassembling and reassembling your cube and cleaning it, all you need is a cube and a cloth and your hands. So I use a microfiber cloth because I find that it is less, harmful to the plastic and it scratches it much less, but you can really use anything. It's not a big deal. The first thing you want to do is find any layer that you like and move it by 45 degrees. So basically align the edge with this part here, and then you're going to pull it apart, get your thumb in there. Once you do that, it should just come off like that. And this is the beginning. So from here on out, it's much easier. So you just get rid of these two corners and then slowly just turn this layer and get the pieces of the layer out. Pretty much any way you want to do this. After this point, the disassembly is pretty trivial. Like the cube basically kind of falls apart, so it's good. So once you do that, what you want to do is take the center caps of all the center pieces on the core and kind of separate them. Okay, so once you do that, you should have your center caps and your core. And now you want to organize the pieces. So just separate them into corners and edges. And just like that, we're done. And you can also see how dirty my cube is because I haven't cleaned it in like 3 months. So now that this is done, all you're going to do is pick out either corners or edges. I'm just going to start with corners. And basically you want to clean off each of the inner faces. So there's 3 inner faces, and it's not too hard to do that. You just want to get your thumb in there. I'm just going to refocus. So you just want to get the cloth in there and make sure you get all of the piece and around the stalk as well. And just repeat that 8 times for the corners. So I'm just going to put them aside once I finish them. Okay, and just like that, I'm done with all the corners. So as you can see, they look much better now. Once you're done with that, you just want to do the same thing for the edges. Now the difference with the edges is that you have a slightly different structure, and you want to get in between, like basically on all 4 faces of the inner edge and also onto the stalk. The stalk's a bit tricky to clean, so I'd recommend just like digging your thumbnail into there through the cloth. So yeah, that should work, and that should be good enough. Like you don't need to make sure it's like as clean as a new cube, but yeah, you need to get most of the gunk off of it because that's what slows your cube down. Okay, so once you're done with the pieces, they should look something like this, all pretty clean. And yeah, you just want to make sure you have them separately. It's not a big deal, but like I like keeping them separate. Once you're done with the pieces, you want to go to the center caps. So just get all of the gunk out from inside the grooves as much as you can. It's not a huge deal if you have stuff left out, but yeah, just do your best. And last but certainly not the least, you need to do the core. So the core is kind of like this, and I just take my hands and get into it. And basically you want to clean out all the grooves that are near the inner core as well as towards the outsides as much as you can. It doesn't matter if you wipe this dry because you're just going to lube it anyway. So, and with that, your cube is clean. So we have 2 steps done out of 3. And at this point, I'd recommend washing your hands. Okay, we're back from washing hands, and the first thing you want to do is now we're on reassembly. So you actually kind of want to assemble it like you're solving a cross. In this case, let's just say white cross. So I'm going to look for the white red. I'm going to slide it in. So you want to pick out both of the white and red centers like that. Slide in the edge like that, and just continue that for all 4 of the centers. Try and remember that you can't pull the white. You don't have to pull the white out once you do the first edge because the first edge kind of holds it up in place. So then here's the third. And obviously this is going to be very delicate because there are no corners to hold it in place. So you kind of have to be extra careful not to let it fall apart. And just like that, the cross is done. So what I do next is I put it inverted down here. So that's the cross done, just like you'd solve a cross on the bottom. Then you basically build it up in layers next. So I'm just going to start with white, green, red here, for example. You just want to slide that in. And then white, green, orange, you want to slide that in. And then white, blue, orange, slide that in. And white, blue, red, you slide that in. So just like that, that's one layer done. And the cube should be self-sustaining now. Like it shouldn't fall apart or anything because this is magnetic, so it's much easier. But yeah, then you just want to go layer by layer. So the second layer edges, pretty straightforward right now. There's honestly not much to reassembly once you do the first layer. That's the hardest part. It's because the cross edges and other stuff in the first layer tend to come apart. So then there's 2 layers done. And once you're done with that, for the third layer, I just recommend going in a sequential order instead of cross. So you just start with a yellow piece and then keep building towards the right or left. In this case, I'm going to go left. How about that? So yeah, I just recommend this because it seems easier to slide in, and I'll show you at the end. You actually don't continue this all the way to the end. So you just do it up to this point. Once you're here, you don't want to continue like that because it's easier to fit an edge in at the end than a corner because the corners have longer stalks. So you want to actually put in both corners now. Once you got both corners in, the way you put the last edge in is exactly how you took it out. You go 45 degrees, pull the corners apart, and get the edge in there. That's it. And just like that, that's done. We have the cube all set up, and now you just want to put the center caps back in. This is a no-brainer, so I'm not going to say anything for this. And yeah, with that, your cube's back to normal, and you will find that it's a little weird because obviously along with cleaning out all the gunk, you've cleaned out all the lube, so it's gonna feel odd, but then remember that it's how it's supposed to feel, and you will notice that it feels much smoother even if it does feel odd because now all the gunk is gone. So you can see how clean the cube is now. Yeah, I did forget to mention, before you put the center caps on, that's when you can choose to tension the cube how you'd like, based on how it turns. In my case, my cube turns fine, I just have to lube it. So a real quick life hack. If you have like very less time before a comp and you need to lube your cube, then I'd recommend just picking out any lube that you'd like that's not too heavy, and you can just drop one drop on one of the sides or like inside one of the corners like that, and then just drop another one in one of the opposite corners, and then just drop one randomly in another. Like I just prefer these 3 drops into the corners and just break it in. And you'll find that the cube kind of distributes it pretty evenly when you pick one corner, an opposite corner, and a random corner. And yeah, overall, you might find that it's gonna take some time, but yeah, it'll be worth it. And that's all for this video. So let me know if this was helpful to you. I know a lot of people struggle with reassembly, so I hope that part was useful. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. Let me know what else you want to see on the channel, and I'll be happy to make videos on it. Yeah, stay tuned for more, and peace.